okoma kura senior so wa me mo anu dia do swan bet mama nto ana kala ni ntia o di tum ntia ku nsem paso no anu mame no kura ana ko se ni yapia yitiri ho ati do ni ma mama ni so so do na ko na wudino what does my make count me bet chance for na wudino what does my make count net is a mama go dia besesia amana mama look at me, you crazy to me, jama banana to me so. Oh, me, I'm sick of you.
Coming up next. Coming up next. Coming up next.
Aboya wa shefu nyira ajo ema pimpim yenu ni edionu enan mo memunsam ene amahudo so sama ya boabo no emre asese ye de besomo e wo diamond kase so kase bono ntema ebedimu akutini bi anese mampanyina na adodan kwa ekufu adoyade a wo hye 3-day campaign tour ase e wo eye enkran
Dr. Mahamadou Baumia enenne wode na probo no akopiemu e wo Dwabin na eho enokobie STEM Junior High School ano
special voting ekopiemu ewo eye epueye ene atoye mantemu ene dey isi etu aheda ye de akoshe December bosumda etosu enum no mu
NDC ene MP ene PNC ene nei wo modi adesrede mu ode pa etu isi anim se wo momode hwehwemu de ntia ballot papers asai ekopiemu ewo Eastern region
Yene sama wuduo bi ene nanyumre ya boabo no ye de ba besomo e wo Diamond Kase so ma ye faseda e ma Diamond Ground Real Estate Diamond Ground Travel and Tour ene dey make am for Diamond Ground Real Estate e dia mawo asase krojen asase amanso ene ho asase a one landguard fo enya sam dia hwehwe Diamond Ground Real Estate trakwan afenso no Diamond Ground Travel and Tour so frefre wo se fa wa kwento krata sembiara Fabedano obeshe ai bibera kama edi ama upe wonecha kwanya wo wala pass Tabora number 5 wo money Diamond TV ena wo dan konem ana frempanyfo e was 0552487385
Asida fabrics and so efrefra was a fabric no dear efe na efo ne dear Ghana ha me say wunya ne babia age asida fabric when a child kwan e wo new Makola shopping mall inside wa one Methodist book depot and the DN ni mu betimi afro e wo number C so 0244 792902
Ben Light Enterprise membo nka yese wogusua dane ka dada ayene mono enu ntene wo ka na ye dada na aya wadwen se wo pese wo kotofufro na wo sika sem aye bese aye basa wadwen ho a Ben Light men kan cho se nde wadwendwen nyina etu atwa esan se wo ka dada na ekita no betimi aspek ka na ma na ka na aye fiyi papa pasika kuma bi ompewe yi na opeden hwehwe Ben Light echa kwan na wotimi embo Ben Light dio or headlight still light bumpers bi fe ye de spec car bia ko pie mu e wona so ye a wo eye enkran aboso akodo betimi e boost ama chese wa komodu ho sem etimi akonkan enu ntino hwehwe Hajjasle Empire echa kwan e wala pass abeka kwan na so ne total filling station and as Fidelity Bank no ene dinhwe ne mu frɛ no e wo 0248045224
Juanita Lane Enterprises so efrefre was say bronya ebe wo pe bronya ntade ama oba share toys workers se bibi bia efa emofra ho free day 1 ekwakosi 16 years de wo benya ewo Juanita Lane Enterprise when the child kwan ewo tudu an flower station honoma obehu Juanita Lane na so person from so abetimi from ewo number C so 0243 792902 ofra wo mo a wonsa ebeka wo mo
Afenso no the boy fashion jewelry sir and anyway member on kaya wo pekumade papa dia empopa dia wo dware sokra na enye hwe dia wosebra waba edia ma the boy fashion jewelry so wo mo nyama bebre se komade se de ye de to yen sa de ye de to yen 9 ring upe wedding rings papa e betimi last wo whole marriage ne dia aje ye the boy fashion jewelry hope e na obenya bi hwehwe ne twa kwan e wo Makola shopping mall no or first floor shop number FF091 and answer friend no e wo 0205625475
Afei wakoto wo toys ne bronya tade e wo Juanita Lane Enterprise awie no wo bepe enioma e debt say chocolate toffee any drinks at say fra brochira e hikire enhye danim na e natural dia obenya no e wo Danley Groceries there was say enioma ye naturally fra brochire aba bronya wo pemu anua a eye papa e hwampa dia wunya ne babia say Danley Groceries obetimi afrom e wo number C so 0246 one
tantan bi amfa nko ana se bag bi a chese handbag school bag ye da bi eno atwam bi amfa ntu kwan eno ntin the non suitcases say waba e dia mo wo be ma suitcases papa die feye pa eno ntin hwehwe dana na cha kwan e wo New Makola shopping mall or first floor shop number 113 freno I was 0552070567.
Ne krakra famous traditional wear. I alata abagana obeso dresses igwe. I dress na pie ne bebo ade oso igwe ni ade dia. Wunya ne babia se famous. Se wo ye program bi na tradition ko ade a ene ebora o makache na kwaje won tade a efe ene bi. Obetimi from e won number C so 055 303 3259 055 303 3259.
Rich May Beauty Supply, sir. Rich May Beauty Supply, some control, sir. And anyway, sir, whoop and near my papa. Dear nails, dear microblading, dear lash, dear massage, Ninano, to share Rich May Beauty Supply, say Chakwan. Now, one bow, a face no, as some there were honors, our student package, and the my students are washing, Yamama Bobo swing na Eddie. And nothing to share Rich May a Chakwan. Now, when you know ending come more. And as a friend Rich May, a one who my trophy so 020. Friend, I want my trophy is 0200467026 friend. Now when any ending come when you make way a daruma and an enemy. One more a boy a chidoma. Yeah, the diamond cassia about best some walking kind for an enemy a me. Mouse on a minimum yaba.
Afia for Poma.
Yeah, be try a home about your bar. Yeah, the cassia bonnet trim more ever to us. Abusuafo ya sam obi biara akwa babiom Diamond Kaseɛ na wenigusu a wohwe afei Kaseɛ bɔne nkyeremu eni Ghana man panyin na Nado Dankwa Akufo Addo eyade a wahye ne 3-day campaign tour no asia enya sam ketwa kra ekopie mu ewo Cathedral Anglican Church ho wokoye nasisuma wode efutuo ekoma Ghana fo nyina na afense wode adesrede sonko pa to Ghana for na wona obeto abanyina enim se afia boto ye babeti ye pastor Ginason yento emfama New Patriotic Party NPP amanyoko.
Across the world, when people speak about Africa and democracy, the country that they refer to as the country which is the beacon. And on Saturday, we're going to get another opportunity, the 9th successive opportunity we have to demonstrate to the world that indeed we understand what democratic government is about. That every few years, the people are given the opportunity to decide who will rule and govern them in their name. So that is going to happen again this Saturday. I am appealing to all of you, the Electoral Commission, the security services, the government, have all made arrangements to make sure that everything goes peacefully and properly. I'm appealing to you to make sure that what happens here next Saturday is indeed peaceful, free, and fair.
Abusia yetwa Kaseɛ bɔne so dia na Franca Tuni Emma New Patriotic Party Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia enene wode na probon akopie mu ewo Ashanti Dwabin na eho enokobie Otuo Cerebral STEM Junior High School anno
aptitude no you nimde a betimi de asua sa digitalization any STEM work no enintina yesi yepese yeboa enye senior high schools nkoa yepese yesisa ye junior high schools ne basic schools ina na umwetimi a start STEM education no right from the basic school level. STEM no science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And intina yepese ye STEM schools in every part of the country. But ye started with some model STEM schools. Deba and this Otuo Cerebral STEM Junior High School no. One of the model STEM schools. Ushanoa unjindi say we a junior high school. Ushe we a Obibe kase sa building we as a university. And yes, but a STEM junior high school with science laboratories, nadia all the gadgets umubit media suya STEM no na ababwa Ghana mai so free ha no more senior high school do university no na papa so Ghana ha ye kaichiri we are going to participate fully in the 4th industrial revolution. Yama in kaichiri bi.
Mohwa be daduni ana abantu ni nyina din wa Ghana. Anso say dabe ndie sebe bie de wo disira battery. Mehwe na me behwe na ma bebie na ma bia tudin. Na de me de e ma ho ne say aban adwe ho say o the school abatome. Me da ban se pa me da ban se say sebe me tiasie o hye manimonyam ama ma hu bia ama me manfo so ahun bie nya se sebe me beko nya se o transie no ya de enti mo me anwe ho ne fanto no we de obi o kwana se fi o se obeda obeka me akafo manim makafo manim de mas papa
Yetwa Kaseɛ bɔne so dia enrada na National Democratic Congress NDC amanyoko no woye health worker edin a daso no eye enti asanteman aseda anie na ɛhɔ no ɛyɛ mampanyi dada a wɔsan so ɛto franka the National Democratic Congress NDC amanyoko no John Dramani Mahama the nsema hudo bebre na etuja na wochire mo said ya ade a wa obeboa say ye Ghana for eto abama na enkankan asanteman mu woto abama na se wo beye mampanyi dia edwedie nsam dia wo bema na tupon ye papa ewo eye asantemantam ene ne mpotam sane be ya ho so no wode impuntu dwuma ebekọ ho
na fempo dia o de hwe omo campaign atonsium efe say adeba ko a Ghana bibia obusa ne say o how be ne ho man no so na edi kan be ka se sika asem economy and so omo campaign omo ntibin ka economy asem bio the fundamentals are weak and the foreign exchange is exposing them. NDC was Shishepa, Emma Edradifo, and then business, and was Santimem. Senior duty boy thing. A chess a and your mouth pot. Yakase NDC are buying back. Yebenya Bank enum. I just say, Omo, Ebeboa, say, Bayi, and your mouth pot. Na Abato Ayebetui, and Kunimdia NDC Bedi, Efa Efria Santimemuha, Echina Jumatia, Mobaya Ewa Santimemuha. Enti Yamfan say Obi stronghold, and higher now stronghold. Enti Ejuma was here, resources that was here deba, logistics I was here deba. Yadiba Bremunamu de Yejuma, 7th December. I think the Atuno Akufado, and they say all them a commission projects are on here. And now I'm no Cassie. Alex Moore, you were interchange via Mem Namisha Seminci. Omoba and Field 9, almost my contract and Johnny Juma. Second term, and almost started a crack. Over still scaffold, maybe our bridge nasi. And so, what Papa to man. Jesus, for God, Massey Airport. After now, April, no Omoda so here, and so Wako Bison. Jesus. Now 419, they want to be in Yada. Now no me share. Yes, so Ethiopian Airlines by shall say Kumasi to London. You go to Ethiopian Airlines. Almost say you on plane, no so be na and your man Akasa and on by shall say MSR and you know.
Ebusia ya to Akasa bone so dia na Ewan sensemu a ekoso ewo mrahye bedwamu no enam so amene asante hini o say to awo toso mienu ene wakasa ewo 58 congregation ekoso Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology at Trinity awasa KNUST eho eno okasa isem kamia yesem mrahye bedwamu nioma ekoso no eya agudie nanso emra ye womi die enye agudie kra na wosie die enti mpanyimfo ne hwe na asumdue enkoso ewa fi abatuomu.
Each graduation ceremony provides an opportunity for reflecting on issues affecting our nation. And as Chancellor, I wish to urge us to reflect on some critical issues. And in the ruins of Gaza, mankind is slowly but seriously drifting into wars, the consequences of which could be incalculable. And all of this stems from the failure, the refusal of men and women to let go of past grievances. Across the African continent, political divisions have deepened conflicts and undermined the scope for cooperation. The refreshing harmony of the ECOWAS sub-region is now endangered by conflicts. And now, in our country, our pride and joy as a fountain of democracy is imperiled by developments that can only stick in our throats. After our lofty experiences of the past 3 decades, how sad it is how sad is it to see the impasse in our legislature, the continuing antipathy towards the institutions of state that should guarantee our peace and stability, and particularly in the challenge to the rule of law. We may have been through some of these experiences before and overcome them, but the vehemence of the current impasse carries forebodings we cannot simply afford. Our political leaders are in danger of ignoring the lessons of our history and the penalties of miscalculation in a febrile political environment, except possibly within the unwholesome ambit of a one-party state. There is no system of governance which can be sustained without a process by which differences are reconciled and litigation is brought to an end. It is not just a necessary requirement of our constitutional democracy, it is one of the strengths of African traditional governance. When we send men and women to Parliament, we expect them to engage in rigorous debate, but we also expect them to be able to reconcile conflicting opinions, have the good sense to recognize the point at which litigation becomes self-serving and valueless, and decisions become obligatory. Our legislators cannot thrash the lessons of our history and expect to retain their honor among the people. This is the worst possible time to put our nation through this drama. In the first place, our democracy has not developed the resilience which can sustain a prolonged political crisis. Secondly, like many countries in the post-COVID world, our economy is not in the best shape. Whoever wins this election is going to have a battle on his hands to rejuvenate the economy. Thirdly, the world is in a turmoil, and even the most powerful nations are consumed by domestic priorities with little spare capacity for others. The old shoulders you cry on may be overloaded with his own domestic bag to be able to care for others, and especially in this America First era. So we must be clear in our minds. Countries like Ghana do not have and cannot afford the luxury of any prolonged fruitless litigation in the years. The tide of history is against that. Every individual engaged in the current electoral process must be aware, and every voter in Ghana must know that whoever wins must be able to hit the ground running or risk the danger of a revolution of shattered dreams. On the evidence of our Fourth Republic, it should be clear to all our political protagonists that no party is in a position to win such an absolute majority. It cannot administer the affairs of the nation without the cooperation of the other party. The successful administration of the country under the political party would require a large dose of bipartisan cooperation. Tragically, the current impasse has so ruptured the bipartisan spirit that it threatens to spill over into the future, thrashing the prospects for bipartisan cooperation in the next parliament. This is the certain route to ruin, and it has to be unacceptable to every Ghanaian who cares about our common destiny. Let us join together the beating of hearts of our people from the village to city across Ghana and invoke the cardinal spirit of reconciliation to urge our political leaders to step back from the path to ruin and return to the path of bipartisan cooperation to restore our hopes for future progress and prosperity. Let us drink from the faith of our forefathers and, fortified by the blood and tears of heroes and martyrs, resolve to shine through the gloom and head for the skies to take our just place at the banquet of human progress.
And that December was no da to me no and a year special voting no a course so na insensem bi amano humne so e wo eye epoye ene atoye mantemu a ye de wo special voting no akosha December 5th na ensem way ekoba ye se wa bra ye de ballot papers no ekopiem e wo sa mantem no ayade wo hu broken seal la yetete ballot papers ni bia no enu nti no ECF emergency meeting na wone eye inter-party advisory committee no etna se eka say e na aba ne dia yemfa wo special vote no enkwahye December 5th a eye ya wade ya ebeya.
On Friday night, the commission was informed by the national security that one single defaced ballot paper meant for the Eastern region had been taken out of the printing house. And I'd like to repeat that it was one single defaced paper for the presidential election in Eastern region had been taken out of the printing house. The printing was undertaken by the Checkpoint Limited, and as you know, supervised and observed by the National Investigation Bureau, the National Security, the police, as well as the agents of the political parties and staff of the EC. It is important to note that this single defaced paper had been earmarked for destruction by burning by the company. For some reason, it found its way out of the printing house. It's also important to note that Checkpoint has had a long history and track record with the Electoral Commission and has printed ballots for the Commission since 1992. I'm not sure what that means. In the light of this revelation and information from the National Security, the Commission took the decision that in order to ensure and guarantee the integrity of the election in the Eastern region, the ballot papers for Eastern region should be recalled. The ballot papers for the Eastern region should be recalled and new ballot papers printed for the region. In our spirit of transparency and accountability, we have today invited the leadership of the political parties as well as the agents of presidential candidates to inform them of the findings that the National Security made to the Commission. The Commission is of the view that as part of its efforts to remain transparent and above board, it was important to inform the political parties about the leakage of this single ballot paper meant for the presidential elections in Eastern region, and to inform them about the decision of the Commission to have the ballot papers for the Eastern region recalled and reprinted. I'm pleased to note that all the political parties, all the registered political parties of Ghana, together with the agents of presidential candidates, have today agreed to the Commission's decision to recall the ballots, the ballot papers meant for Eastern region, and to order a reprint of those ballot papers. Additionally, it has been agreed by all the Commission and all the parties that because the printing house, Checkpoint, also printed ballot papers for the Western region, those ballot papers should also be recalled and printed. And I'd like to note that this was arrived at by the Commission and the political parties, and so there has been agreement here. Therefore, the ballot papers for the two regions, Eastern region and Western region, will be destroyed by burning, and a new reprint ordered starting today. It is important to note that in order to ensure the integrity of the ballot paper, the Commission will introduce new security features onto ballots that will be printed for the Eastern region and the Western region. In addition to that, the serial numbers for those ballots for the two regions would be revised. This is to ensure that there would be a marked difference between what has already gone and what has already been printed and what will be printed starting this evening. It's important to note that we believe that this would ensure the security of the ballot and differentiate between the ballots that have been printed and what is about to be printed. That we call for a reprint to guarantee and ensure the integrity of the elections. And we call on the citizens of Ghana to support us in our effort to guarantee the integrity of the election. The Commission will engage 3 media houses in the light of the limited time. 3 printing houses in the light of the limited time to print the ballots for the 2 regions. And they are the Arts, Commercials, Back Press, and Inolink. We have Back Press to print ballots from the Western region, and Arts, Commercials, and Inolink would print the ballots from the Eastern region. I think it will be divided based on presidential and parliamentary amongst the 2 printing houses. We have had informal discussions with the security agencies, and they have already pledged their commitment to protect and heighten to ensure the integrity of the ballots. There would be new features added onto the ballots, and the serial numbers would also be revised to the 5th of December. As we all know, the special voting brings together the security notice would be put out to these constituencies to inform them that their special voting, especially those in the eastern, particularly those in the eastern region and in the western region, to inform them that their special voting will take place 2020. The objective as a commission stand.
Ebisua yetwa kase bone sodia na National Democratic Congress NDC womo ene PNC amanyoko no nenei wodi adeswede mu oden pa etu isi anim se womo modia enye hwehwemu emfa ballot papers a yekopie mu ewo Eastern region na ensem ewo ho no efisa womo ente ase kra se sa ballot papers no efri isi akache ene koye nenso ensem eda so ewo ho.
We demand that the security agencies immediately put out if they have arrested any culprits, and if they have, who are they, which political party are they affiliated to, or are they not affiliated to any political party. We need to know. That is very critical.
The National Security gave the report. We know the National Security are undertaking investigation. The question was asked whether has there been any arrest and have there been any interrogation, and so that hasn't been done. But we know that it is still within the ambit of the national security. They will definitely come out with.
Director of Research and Elections at the Manu Patriotic Party (NPP) Amanyokoni Evans Namako atitubia di ama NDC Amanyokoni ye papa se ensama woke kafa isi hu se dia isi ya no enfa kwa mu ne nyamanyama wonka wanu tumu krai sanse nya isi eye na efa ye ballot papers ne nya ekoso nyina ne kwanso a eno no.
Yes, we did, and we think that is a very difficult decision to take. But as we've said, democracy is expensive. We wish that had not happened because ballots were printed, bagged, and sent to regions with escort from parties, police, EC. They were received at those ends, and no reports were received. But there are security implications. Something has been found, and we cannot wash it under the carpet. So yes, we painfully agree with the EC that they should go ahead and get those ballots for these regions to be printed. Unfortunately, for some of our brothers in the media, the police, and the EC staff who are supposed to be voting tomorrow and may have made the arrangement for the day, will have to reorganize themselves. We will plead with them and let them know that all is not lost. So Thursday, as the EC has promised, on the 5th, they will have opportunity to cast their votes. We will look up to that and ensure that we have a level playing field. Allegations will not serve anybody's interest. We will urge the security to up their game and arrest the culprits. But if there's anybody who has information about this whole thing, should be ready to help the police to get to the bottom of this matter. Also, this is NDC, and you shouldn't be surprised. The very thing they are doing is the very thing they will accuse another party or person of doing.
You are saying the NDC is the one trying to print 2.5 million ballots.
The very thing they will be doing is what they will accuse the other of doing. When the EC gave provisional register to political parties, NDC said there were issues and that they wanted forensic audit to be done. Instead of them to bring their evidence, they never did. They went on the streets and conducted a demonstration across Ghana, needless. At the end of the day, when the EC organized an IPAC meeting that had the presence of the media, it was clear that the NDC had no basis for the call they made on provisional register. When a revised version was made and given to them, the NDC still came out to say that there were people who have had their names missing on the register. And so that's NDC. And at any point in time, thankfully, they get exposed. So if he thinks that other party is printing a number of ballots, they should do the right thing. They should relay information to the police for investigation to be done. Except they are telling us that they don't trust the police to do a professional job. And you should understand, they've said that way back. Their leadership insists that even officers will have their appointment terminated because they are in bed with the new patriotic parties. I mean, this is funny. So NDC, when they say one thing, you need to interrogate it. And I'm saying that the very thing they will be doing, they will accuse another for doing. Okay, so when I got the information that there have been shortfalls of ballots in Volta region. Volta region ballots, presidential, parliamentary, were printed by Art Commercial. Before the ballot left the offices of Art Commercial, serious auditing process were done. Afterwards, when the issue came up, I took my time. I took the ballot statistics that was generated and given to the printing house. I took the number of ballots that were transported, and they matched. So I was surprised that there was that information that there were shortfalls. I don't know where that is coming from. And if you take your time to check, you realize that it was neither here nor there. But issue of shortfalls can also be looked at it this way. Anytime printing has been done, and if you followed printing of ballot and its transportation to regions and all that, there could be shortfalls. That is why when it gets to the regional level, at the district level, parties will have to check whether the numbers are accurate, and if not, you add up. This is not an issue that you have to raise tension. It doesn't call for that. But here we are, New Patriotic Party, we are certain that by the grace of God, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia will make the numbers to constitute government, because he has submitted to the good people of Ghana policies and programs that are superior enough to transform Ghana's status. And so that's what we are looking at. We are focused, and our parliamentary candidates are working so hard. Officers across party lines, from polling station to national level, are doing what is expected of them for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia to win the presidential elections. So that's our focus.
National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Dramani Mahama, and a parliamentary candidate 2020 ne I feel one yes I mistake in a chroma correcting in it's a fee about what the Yamea don't want kunim.
Well, it's just early days yet, or early hours yet. We hope that the process is going to be smooth throughout. But normally, even last 4 years, the process was smooth from beginning to end, and so I'm just hoping that everything will be fine. Look, my expectations are great. We know we are going to be victorious at the end of the day. We made some mistakes in 2020. We've corrected those mistakes. We've seen the opponent's weakness. So we are using that as our strength. And on the 7th of December, which is the last time I didn't cause the violence, so the last time I rather provided peace, so there will be absolute peace this time around. So it will be very peaceful.
Ebusiafo yesanso Emma wo bibiara akwaba bi yetwa kase bodo so dia na National Democratic Congress Youth Organizer wo to whom a eno ewo epoye mantem Abdullah Idris Sedo a ye friend Baba Chaka enede wode eye arehwemu pana se wahye wo mu nkran se eye ade a afia bate eba betudie ebeye asumdwe nkwa
organizer for the NDC. Asama meka chamu ne so. Ye mehuru no mo hwa ya den. Ya ye krado. Esa ne se ya tena sun constituency ya. 24 years ni ba ne ne boy ye sesene ya abo akoko no. Ne mmom no ye ti hanom eduma ene bibia papa bia anye de. Enko so so ko ma. Ye hwa Ghana asesi ya youth unemployment enko akodi 1.9 million. Me tu na ehye mu over 3% there we to one ma so me no. Omo ye eduma ko be na so ebi nyo ye hwe ya kwan a assess ye hwe ya hospital hwe koye ye ko education bi bia anya na ye de ekoye nti as a constituency youth organizer and a committee chairman ya ye krado se NDC party ye de ne pre ye de ahokeka ebe di seat ne ni ya ma honorable principal and excellency of Ramani Mahama very Saturday by this time. And Congo said, you by this time. Now, and it's a funny job by the infra. Now, I think I catch people from there. Almost here at the bed, the big cat, almost die at the bed, the Bayam, only a crab, only a crab, and now, I'm a boss, a youth organizer, Baba Chaka, and I want to see that. Yeah, told like I said. You say NDC football for Mutin. Yani honorable priest the constituency chairman. Etna say after governor gave us kakra na ya tia grofo amon official pa na ya ton NDC amomo na ya mo amusu mudi adanse na ya koye no in fact you what say odo NDC na NDC edo makoma so na nne de suhu nyina ka say afi de almost some no ama honorable prince Bodo Adotabri na ya papa John Dramani Mahama etina ha ye catch us who nyina say ye do mase ene ye munyam shekesi a wo da share prince Bodo Adotabri ene ye papa John Dramani Mahama ye so mu nie hambo na afi na what send no Ghana nyina be hu nie pa e wo so hu ni munyam a sunfu e da share NDC kaka metimi akam no sem boss obi kaka be bu nyina ne say say ye dika campaign bebre ya tse mbabru no 24 years ni enso juma pa John Dramani Mahama edi abetusu edi agusu huma abonte so and the youth no bia say o ma hu kan no because
yeto akase bone so dia na Dr. Abu Dujani Busa Ibn Bayan awo ye founder Emma Duril Tarid awo eno ewo Tamale Northern Region enenei wodi atudwa se wayi namiensa ede tu honom aya kwamkire ene mpaibo ede atai doctor anase wodi tai NDC amanyoko no echi se ne be ya afia bato no ebe ye nkunimdie ede amawom.
We should start 3-day fasting. We should fast 3 days. That's on the 4th, on the 5th, and also on the 6th, so that Allah Almighty would help us achieve what we want, and that is by making President Mahama the next president of the Republic of Ghana. I, as a religious person, I also try to engage some communities, at least the youth and first-time voters, to encourage them, to tell them the necessary or the importance of change in this particular regime that we are into. We are talking about the nation. We are not talking about religion. Muslims should not bring that discrimination. We shouldn't create something we can continue with. If Muslims are saying we should only stand by Muslims, what would they say if Christians would also say they should stand by their fellow brother who is Christian? When would Muslim have a position in Ghana? If we are going to go by religion and not competence and capability. So I'm advising my Muslim brothers and especially Islamic scholars to stay away from that thing. No one would use Quran or Sharia law to rule Ghana.
In Tamale, including Upper East and all the northern regions up north here, electricity in the north was being rationed. Load shedding was being shared among us. Those days, if they had given Lamashegu lights today, the next day they will give Sabonjida, and the load shedding will get back to Sabonjida will be about 2 or 3 weeks. Those days that we were in school, we were using lanterns to go to preps. Let me remind you, during the UP time, the UP government the MPP is now the offshoot of UP government. That was Buzier's time. When Buzier was told by our great-grandfathers that we needed to have a 24-hour light just like the southern part of Ghana, what Buzier told our great-grandfathers was that because of mountains, trees, rivers, lights cannot be extended from the southern part of Ghana to northern part of Ghana. It was during NDC J.J. Rawlings' time that power had to be extended from the Akosombo to northern part of Ghana.
Everything for ya to akasiabano so dia na afi biara every November bosno da etosu eduonu enum ekopem December bosno da etosu dubiano eye wiase afanye nyina no 16 days of activism against gender based violence na we eye campaign a wo mode eye aboa no sane beya emma wo fa ahoyie mu ene afi basabasa yo bia ni eni ebeba wo so na afi so wo mo ahyase a woye.
We all know that women face all forms of violence at home, at the workplace, in school, in public spaces, and even online. So we think it is time we create awareness. The problem we have in this community is, parental neglect, but it's coming from the men. Single parenting is very high here. Because they are matrilineal inheritance, so most of the men don't want to take responsibility in this community. So that is what we had, and we are working on it. We are speaking to them to be responsible. So the chief and the elders of the community have pledged today to support the department achieve its agenda in the community.
I'm very, very impressed about what the education that they have given us. In fact, look at the situation that even the women, they all listen attentively for what the education is going on. The school children too are also listening. And look at the time now, up to now, they are still there. We have got some people here who have started education. But when they are going now, you support them. I advise them to take the education serious so that such things will not happen. Especially violence and all these things, You don't like it, especially in this town.
Yekopiemu ewo gbawe nso dia nene amafo a wo ewo gbawe community ene na omo dia desrede eto water company enim say be 7 months ni wo mu enya nsu ewo kro ne sokra nte ya dia ha wo mu nte wo nye bibi emfa ho.
I could boldly say for about 7 months now.
7 months?
Yes, 7 months now. It's purely bad. I mean, typically uncalled for. Look at all the mothers in and around this community. It's big. Top Base is quite big. And mothers don't have water. They'll have to go about 5 to 1 kilometer to get water. It's bad. I mean,
I has one seminary dear. Your top had ye face a problem. Ye nyansu. Into mo bre water bill. Ya can maybe cry your water waste. Ya kwa ya omusi. Omwa kan so mwaye bia mfie ma
nsuo sam de papa be 6 to me fan say be 8 months ni de ene pe na meti say wo mu di nsuo aba
8 months mu ni nsuo ha
nsuo ha yeni nsuo ha
mo ye den tena ha
ya to nje say ko fo galomu ya to ba ko 9 cedis nsuo sam de enkoyie ma ye kura
na ono ka ne sa no so de na wo ka
nsuo ne de ye no kure pa anope ma ko bia hwe me na ase kura hu me na ase fi ma kwasa afa ne ase ya bie me ho mpoma ena me na mo bisa kwan na me fa so a me nsuo ne beba enya agro na people nso aye se hu no ginya me
so be laughing for me so I have to wait and ask for this kind of those people here to bring some
imagine me say me a pensioner 68 years. How can I be carrying water? Me probably no yes sir. Every week you 1.4.
Boho ne ekosa. Anointed. Ene koye mwa kese wa ha. Anointed nyame nhira no. Ono no koye mwa ene we bie nsuo na enye bisa.
So the other day the guy who even normally go around and share the bill, I told him that we are not getting water. You can check.
Tracy say yegusu na mon kanhwe na mo asene bill. Hwe me ni what's a bill aba. For no water you have to pay.
So ne ba no still tia water.
Oh me tia.
Ewusiafo aha ene bre be ma ye kwan na ye de kasebo nyinyina beba ne wie ye ansa na ye be kono ensema edi kasebo ni mu akutini bi anese Ghana mampanyi na adodankwa Akufo-Addo yade a wahye 3-day campaign to ase ewo enkranmantem.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia enene wodi nani akyeremu ewo Kumasi Dwabe ekwakobie STEM Junior High School ano.
Mampanyi dada John Dramani
omode adesrede etu isi anim se womomode enhwehwemu de ntia ballot papers ai ho aka akwakopie mu ewo Eastern Region.
Yene nsama huduo bi enene nwumre ye boabo na ye de ebesom ewo Diamond Kase so maye faseda ma Diamond Ground Real Estate ni Diamond Ground Travel and Tour.
Daily Groceries and Aseda Fabrics.
Ben Light Enterprise, Hajia Slay Empire.
Modash Closet and Afe UQ Ventures.
Danan Seals Cases and Afe Dubois Fashion Jewelry.
Cute Bags and more and a cracker M Famous.
Afe Sonomestevia Collections and Afe Cocos Jewelry. Wonyina and our boy Chidoma and there enumere ye the Diamond Kase ebesom akenkan for me. Mausi konya mini aba
afia from poma